I want you to just picture something for a moment. Like, close your eyes if you need to, unless you're, driving or operating heavy machinery or something.
Yeah, please don't close your eyes if you're driving.
Right, exactly. But just imagine you are standing in a valley, the Girdwood Valley, deep in the heart of the Chugach Mountains in Alaska.
Oh, man. It is so beautiful up there.
It really is. But it's also intense, right? Like the wind is just biting at your cheeks, and tucked away, almost completely swallowed by these like ancient, towering Sitka spruce trees, is this weather-beaten, totally remote cabin.
Just completely off the grid.
Basically, yeah. It looks entirely abandoned, just kind of surrendering to the elements. But inside this cabin, sitting totally undisturbed for decades, is a simple cardboard box.
The box.
The box. And inside that box are cassette tapes. Dozens of them. Tapes that are honestly basically a time machine waiting to pull us right back into the late 1990s.
It's just such an incredible find. It really is. And today we are pulling out a 50-minute recording that proves a pirate radio DJ broadcasting from a literal makeshift turret was somehow engineering this mass psychological catharsis for an entire town.
Welcome to another episode of the Mochi Tapes, Transmissions from the Last Frontier. I am so excited to get into this one because what immediately strikes me about this specific tape is the dramatic shift in his physical and social environment.
Right, compared to the earlier stuff.
Exactly. Like if you're tracking the timeline with us, you'll remember our previous analysis of Mochi's life. We were listening to recordings he made in 1996 while, literally living in a tent near Sitka.
Yeah, just out in the woods.
Right, just whispering his philosophical inner monologues into a tiny handheld recorder. Or he was like blending those thoughts with the ambient noise of selling concessions at a Seattle Mariners baseball game.
Which was such a surreal tape, by the way. Oh, totally. But back then, he was this quintessential nomadic fringe figure, right?
Right.
Broadcasting his worldview from the absolute margins, basically just hoping someone someday would find the magnetic tape.
Throwing a message in a bottle.
Exactly. But now, we jump forward to the fall of 1997. He is no longer isolated in the damp woods. He has completely embedded himself in a community.
Yep, not just any community.
Right, the eccentric, winterlocked ski town of Girdwood.
Which is such a specific vibe.
Yep.
And his platform has fundamentally upgraded here. I mean, he isn't just talking to himself in a tent anymore. He's sitting behind the actual console of 88.5 FM Glacier City Radio.
Glacier City Radio, so good.
Yeah. And we have to clarify, this wasn't some polished corporate station with like a program director and a mandated rotation of top 40 hits.
Oh, not at all.
No, it was a pirate station, an experimental, highly illegal, deeply underground project set up by a local named Lewis Leonard.
Lewis Leonard, yeah.
And Lewis didn't just rent out a space in a strip mall or something. He literally rigged this station to broadcast out of a turret on his own house.
A literal turret. I just love that image so much.
It's amazing. So you have this visual of Mochi, the former tent-dwelling philosopher, now handed the keys to an actual watchtower. He's elevated above the town, spinning tracks, and sending this unauthorized signal out over the entire snowy valley.
The turret itself is just such a potent symbol. I mean, it evokes the imagery of a lighthouse or, like an observatory.
Totally.
He is physically positioned above the community, kind of acting as this sonic watchman. And the mission for our analysis today is to look at one specific morning in that turret.
Which is September 8th, 1997.
Right. It's a Tuesday morning, and we're going to try to decode the hidden architecture of this specific pirate radio set.
Because honestly, at first listen, it just sounds like a mess.
Yeah, the 50-minute musical buildup he orchestrates feels chaotic. It feels almost jarringly random when you first hear it.
Like he's just throwing things at the wall.
Exactly. But the mechanics of this broadcast reveal something entirely different. The sequencing perfectly mirrors and sets the energetic stage for the daily astrological and Mayan calendar readings he delivers later on.
He's building something.
Yes. He is utilizing the medium of radio not just to entertain people, but to construct a literal sonic ritual.
Which requires us to really think about the physical reality of that medium in 1997, like the tactile nature of what he's actually doing in that cold turret.
Yeah, he's not clicking a mouse.
Right. He doesn't have some Spotify algorithm cross-fading tracks based on a pre-selected mood profile. Every single transition, every moment of tape hiss, every pop of a vinyl record.
On every second of dead air.
Exactly. It's all the result of his hands physically moving sliders, queuing up records, and making real-time human decisions in what was probably a freezing cold room.
Yet is exactly the point we need to keep at the forefront today. The sequence we are about to unpack was built by hand. He is physically wrestling with the audio up there.
So let's look at the beginning of the tape. It's 6:20 in the morning.
6:20 a.m.
It's early, it's pitch dark outside, and the weather is just this dominating factor. Mochi gets on the microphone, and he announces he is setting, quote, mellow vibrations for the morning.
Mellow vibration.
Yeah, he literally says, as you get up and get around and start the day going, got a little orb for you now.
A little orb. I love his phrasing.
It's so unique. And then by 6:57 a.m., he checks back in, describing the sky getting light, and he specifically notes the, quote, beautiful multi-hued gray outside as the rain comes down here in the valley.
The atmosphere he paints is just incredibly vivid. I mean, listening to it, you can almost feel the dampness penetrating the glass of that turret.
Oh, absolutely.
He's really leaning into this gray, wet, cold morning. He even calls it a beautiful, wet day that we got going on.
But here is the massive disconnect, and this is what we need to dig into. He tells the listener he's providing mellow vibrations. But when you actually listen to the tracks, he selects to establish this supposedly casual, sleepy morning tone.
It doesn't match at all.
Not even a little bit. The music completely contradicts his introduction. These tracks are anything but easy background noise.
No, the sonic profile he chooses is this heavy, soulful, funk-infused R&B that is absolutely dripping with profound yearning.
It's so intense.
It really is. We are hearing lyrics like, if I can't have you to myself, I'd rather be with you.
Yeah.
And my life is in your hands, but if you do, I will make no commitments with you in your dream.
It's very Bootsy Collins style funk.
Exactly. The bass lines are super thick, the vocals are just pleading, and the thematic core of the whole set is entirely about intense, almost suffocating interpersonal dependence.
Like that one line, when we met, all we want was each other. When you turn out to be my greatest lover, and I still want you, although we live apart.
It's heartbreaking, really.
It's a bizarre juxtaposition, though. You have this DJ sitting totally alone in an elevated turret in a remote, freezing Alaskan town, right?
Yeah.
He's watching the heavy rain beat against the glass, and he's playing music about literally not being able to exist without another person.
It's so cinematic.
It really feels like the cold open of a moody, atmospheric indie film. Like you, the listener, are waking up in your freezing, isolated cabin. You turn the dial on your little radio, and Mochi just wraps you in this warm, deeply human audio blanket.
That's a great way to put it.
He's pulling you out of the physical isolation of the Alaskan wilderness and plugging you directly into a vein of raw, soulful longing.
And that speaks to the core function of pirate radio in a place like Girdwood, honestly.
How so?
Well, it serves as a bridge across the physical and psychological distances between these spread-out cabins. It is fundamentally an act of reaching out in the dark.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the mellow label he slaps on this segment is almost like a sleight of hand. He's introducing these heavy themes of desperate connection, but he's framing it as easy listening.
A total misdirection.
Right. And the rain outside isn't just a weather report here. It becomes an actual character in the broadcast. It's a literal and metaphorical cleansing force that he is actively weaving into his DJ persona.
He's harmonizing with the environment.
Exactly. He is harmonizing the internal emotional landscape of the music with the external reality of the weather.
And the rain really does feel like a constant heavy presence pressing down on the whole broadcast. But that mellow start, the soulful yearning, the multi-hued gray morning,
It's a trap.
it's entirely a setup. It's the calm before the storm. Because as the hour pushes towards 7 a.m., the music begins to subtly and then violently shift.
Yeah, it gets intense.
Mochi literally takes the listener from those sleepy, romantic morning vibes and just drags them into a state of rising, palpable psychological tension.
The auditory mechanics of this shift are just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
He is essentially building a musical pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker.
And he does it with such deliberate pacing that you almost don't even realize how anxious the broadcast has become until you are entirely trapped inside the soundscape.
You're just suddenly swimming in it.
Right. He pivots from the thick, warm bass lines of the soul tracks into this long, uninterrupted sequence of increasingly dark, chaotic, and existentially fraught music.
The transition is brutal. We go straight from I'd rather be with you directly into Pink Floyd's Time.
Oh, man. Talk about a tonal shift.
Right. The listener is suddenly just hit with the jarring, cacophonous ringing of ticking clocks and blaring alarms.
So loud on the tape, too.
It really is. And then those devastating, culturally ubiquitous lyrics kick in, right? Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way.
Just heavy, heavy stuff for breakfast time.
Seriously. It's 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. People are literally just trying to make their coffee and put on their snow boots, and their local pirate DJ is broadcasting that their lives are slipping away.
That they missed the starting gun.
Yes. It's so aggressive.
But the psychological arc he is tracing here is incredibly specific. Think about it.
Yeah.
We move from the external yearning of the funk tracks.
The desire for another person.
Exactly. We move from that inward to acute internal anxiety, regret, and the claustrophobia of time passing.
He's turning the mirror on the listener.
He really is. He is forcing his listeners to confront their own mortality and the mundane terror of the daily grind.
And those ringing alarms in time.
They act as a physiological trigger. They literally spike the listener's heart rate. And the craziest part is, he doesn't let the tension resolve.
No, he doubles down.
He leans harder into the chaos.
He really does. He blends the end of the Pink Floyd track directly into an Italian avant-garde spoken word piece.
Which is just an insane choice.
It's completely unhinged. The audio texture here is just absurdly uncomfortable. It's this collage of overlapping voices, jarring rhythms, and hyper-tense vocal delivery.
Do we know what they're actually saying in that track?
Yeah, the lyrics in the source material translate to some wild stuff like una erezione triste per un coito molesto,
Which means?
a sad erection for an annoying coitus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then smettila di parlare, avvicinati un po', which means stop talking, come a little closer.
It's so unsettling.
It gets worse. There's a specific line about allucinato la situazione estrema, which translates to hallucinating the extreme situation.
Hallucinating the extreme situation.
It legitimately sounds like an anxiety attack recorded onto magnetic tape.
And the psychoacoustics of this transition are vital to understand here.
What do you mean by psychoacoustics in this context?
Well, hearing overlapping chaotic voices in a foreign language while you're already primed by the existential dread of Pink Floyd.
Right, your brain is already on edge.
Exactly. It creates a profound sense of disorientation. The brain struggles to find a rhythmic or linguistic anchor. Mochi is utilizing a deliberate emotional funnel, restricting the psychological breathing room of the listener.
He's suffocating them with sound.
He really is. And then he follows that Italian avant-garde track with the urgent, manic energy of 90s alternative rock.
Oh, the Third Eye Blind track.
Right. We hear the familiar, driving beat of Semi-Charmed Life. With those specific lyrics, I want something else to get me through this life.
What perfectly encapsulates the desire for escape, right?
Absolutely.
It's the sudden realization that the current reality, the freezing cabin, the daily routine, the rain, it's all insufficient.
It's not enough.
And then, just when you think he might let up, he plunges the knife even deeper. He crossfades into this haunting, slow-tempo track with lyrics that are just gut-wrenching.
The regret track.
Yeah, the singer is just agonizing over the past. He's singing, "I remember a time when my mind was clean and clear. How do I undo this damage I have done?"
Just devastating.
And the lyrics go on to describe crumbling, crying, taking a long breath, and dying, staring into the mirror and being terrified of whoever is looking back.
I think there's a line about a pillow, too.
Yes. Sweet with the pillow over my face. Thinking back to exactly the time and place, it is suffocatingly bleak.
It really is the auditory manifestation of regret. It's the feeling of being crushed beneath the weight of your own history.
And broadcast to the whole town.
Right. Consider the sociological context of broadcasting this specific sequence to a tiny snowbound community.
Where everyone is trapped inside.
Exactly. Girdwood is the kind of place where isolation can profoundly magnify internal demons. People move to the edges of the map for a reason,
Usually to escape something.
Often to escape something, yeah. Only to find themselves locked in a tiny cabin with their own thoughts for 8 months of winter.
You can't outrun yourself.
Never. And Mochi is taking all of that collective baggage, all the unspoken regrets, and the quiet desperation that people hide behind their front doors, and he's just blasting it over the public airwaves.
He is making the private public.
Exactly.
Okay, I hear the thematic link you're making here, and I have to admit, the narrative of a DJ intentionally orchestrating an existential crisis is incredibly compelling. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. We're talking about the tactile reality of 1997, right?
Sure.
It's 7 a.m. He's in a freezing cold turret. He's probably running on very little sleep, surrounded by milk crates full of vinyl and tapes.
Probably hasn't even had coffee yet.
Exactly. So isn't it highly probable that he's just playing 90s angst rock because it happens to be at the front of the crate?
I see where you're going.
Right. Like, could the transition from Pink Floyd to an obscure Italian spoken word track just be the result of him grabbing literally whatever was closest to keep the dead air at bay while he frantically dug for the next song?
The fumbling DJ theory.
Yeah. Are we giving him way too much credit for what might just be the chaotic, messy reality of amateur pirate radio?
It is always crucial to check our tendency to find patterns in the static. Absolutely.
We don't want to over-intellectualize a stoner in a tower.
Fair point. And this sleepy DJ fumbling with records theory is highly plausible if you look at it in a vacuum.
Right.
However, the physical evidence of the audio itself refutes it.
How so?
Listen to the timing of the crossfades. The transition from the ticking clocks to the Italian spoken word requires very deliberate cueing to maintain that atmospheric tension. It doesn't sound fumbled.
Okay, the technical skill is there.
But more importantly, we know this isn't random crate digging because of the undeniable microscopic lyrical alignment between these specific tracks and the esoteric reading that immediately follows them.
Ah, the reading.
Right. If the music was truly random, the thematic collision that occurs at 7:16 a.m. would be a coincidence of mathematically impossible proportions.
Okay, let's talk about that 7:16 a.m. reading, because this is really where the entire broadcast pivots.
It's the turning point.
Mochi has built this suffocating peak of anxiety. The listener is trapped in the ticking clocks, the ruined lives, the metaphorical pillows over faces.
The tension is almost unbearable.
It really is. And right when you expect him to drop, I don't know, a familiar pop track to relieve the pressure, the music just cuts out completely.
Just dead silence for a second.
Yeah. He grabs the microphone. His voice cuts through the multi-hued gray and the lingering tape hiss. And he finally delivers his daily reading.
He opens by saying, "Good morning, friends. Today is September 8th, 1997. On my calendar today is 11 MULUC.
11 MULUC, which sounds like sci-fi to anyone not in the know.
Right, but you'll recognize the Dreamspell influence immediately here if you know the system.
The Jose Arguelles stuff.
Exactly. He isn't primarily tracking linear Gregorian time. He's mapping daily energies.
Right, because the standard calendar is just a way to track taxes and work weeks, according to that philosophy.
Basically, yeah. The Dreamspell calendar, adapted by Arguelles, utilizes a 13-tone galactic creation cycle combined with 20 solar seals.
So what does the 11 mean in this context?
Well, Mochi identifies the tone of the day as 11, which is the spectral tone. The esoteric function of the 11th tone is liberation.
A liberation from what?
It is the energy of dissolving, of releasing what has been, of letting go of old patterns and structures that simply no longer serve a purpose.
And the solar seal for the day is MULUC, right? Or MULUC, the red moon.
Yes.
Which Mochi specifically defines on the air as the raindrop, the cosmic seed, the gate of awakened consciousness, and the principle of communication.
The raindrop.
The raindrop.
The environmental synchronicity is just
Staggering because of the weather outside.
exactly. Think back to 6:57 a.m. His primary observation was the heavy rain coming down in the valley.
The beautiful wet day.
Right. The physical weather battering the windows of his turret is literally manifesting the precise dream spill energy of the day he is reading about.
That is wild.
The day is mathematically coded in this esoteric system for emotional purification through water.
And he's watching the waterfall as he says it.
Exactly. But he doesn't even stop at the Mayan calendar. He layers a second astrological framework right on top of it. He moves straight into the Sabian symbol.
Okay, for you listening who might not know, the Sabian symbols are this set of 360 esoteric images corresponding to the degrees of the zodiac. Right.
Right. And Mochi notes that the sun is in Virgo, specifically the 17th degree.
And because the system relies on these clairvoyant images that were channeled by Elsie Wheeler back in, what, 1925?
1925, yeah.
The imagery he gets is intensely visual and highly specific. Like, it's not vague newspaper horoscopes.
Not at all. And the Sabian symbol for the 17th degree of Virgo is, quote, a volcanic eruption.
A volcanic eruption.
This is where the genius of his audio architecture becomes truly undeniable. I mean, listen to the exact text Mochi reads on the air for this symbol, and hold it up against the psychoacoustic pressure cooker he just put the listener through.
Okay, I have the transcription of his reading right here. Let me read it.
Go for it.
He says, "The explosive energy of long repressed contents of the subconscious."
Pause right there. Long repressed contents.
Yeah. "We are dealing here with the dramatic release of energies which have been kept in check, and may be a spectacular catharsis, but it often takes a path of destruction.
The path of destruction.
Yet, unless some form of purification by fire is experienced, the inner pressure of the karmic past would shake up perhaps even more destructively the very foundation."
He continues the reading, emphasizing that this eruption of repressed and primitive cravings forces in the soul to seek a transfigured state.
It's intense.
It is. And he concludes the segment with this explicit directive: the soul must become empty, the mind translucent. The key word for today is explosion.
Explosion. So the architecture finally snaps into place here.
It really does.
The previous 45 minutes of chaotic audio weren't just a random playlist pulled from the front of a milk crate.
Not a chance.
The songs agonizing over the damage I have done, the quiet desperation, the suffocating regret, those tracks literally were the long repressed contents of the subconscious.
Yes.
He was actively utilizing the music to manufacture the inner pressure of the karmic past within his listener.
Precisely. He built the volcano out of sound.
That's a great way to say it.
He subjected his audience to the claustrophobia of the ego. And then his spoken reading served as the spectacular catharsis, the actual volcanic eruption.
He brought them to the edge and pushed them over.
Exactly. He articulated exactly what the listener was feeling. He named the energetic pressure that he himself had induced, and then he gave them the esoteric permission to release it.
Wow.
He utilized the concept of 11 MULUC, the raindrop of liberation, to quench the fire of the Sabian volcano. It is a masterful piece of psychological manipulation, but it's aimed at healing.
The geographical metaphor he is tapping into here is almost too perfect, too.
With Alaska.
Yeah. Alaska sits squarely on the Pacific Ring of Fire.
Right.
It is a landscape entirely defined by literal tectonic tension, geothermal vents, and dormant volcanoes.
It's physically volatile.
Very. And emotionally, in a tight-knit, isolated community where the winters are just brutal and dark, everyone is carrying a backpack full of repressed baggage.
Cabin fever is real.
It's a very real, very dangerous psychological phenomenon. Eventually, that internal tension erupts.
It has to.
So Mochi is taking this macro-geological reality of Alaska, combining it with the microsocial reality of Girdwood, and mapping them perfectly onto an esoteric 1920s astrological system.
All communicated through the medium of 90s rock and R&B.
It's brilliant.
He is operating as an alchemist in a turret. He understands that you cannot simply tell people to release their baggage. You have to make them feel the heavy weight of it first.
Just make them carry it.
Exactly. But what is equally brilliant, and perhaps even more revealing about his own personal philosophy, is what he chooses to do after the explosion.
Right, the aftermath.
The catharsis has occurred. The old patterns have been violently liberated. But what does the landscape look like after the volcano erupts?
Well, you would think it's peaceful.
Right, but it isn't a landscape of pristine, peaceful white snow. Mochi's next musical choices dictate the reality of the post-eruption landscape, and they are incredibly jarring.
Because you would naturally assume that after a heavy esoteric reading about awakening consciousness and purification by fire, and the requirement for the mind to become translucent.
You'd expect some Enya.
Right. You'd expect him to transition into something ethereal, an ambient synth track, maybe some singing bowls, something that sounds like spiritual enlightenment.
A meditation track.
Yeah. But instead, immediately after he says the keyword is explosion, the audio just kicks back in with this swaggering, upbeat, aggressive southern rock track by Drivin' and Cryin'.
It's so jarring.
And the lyrics blaring out of the radio are literally, "I'm going straight to hell," just like my mama said.
I'm going straight to hell. It is such a fascinating, rebellious pivot.
It really is.
Let's analyze the auditory and psychological function of this cool-down phase. The volcanic eruption of the soul, according to the Sabian text he just read, requires a path of destruction.
Right. It destroys the foundation.
It explicitly stated that unless some form of purification by fire is experienced, the very foundation is destroyed. Mochi is acknowledging a fundamental truth about human psychology here. You cannot be purified by fire without getting a little burned.
The ash has to settle somewhere.
Exactly. The ash covers everything.
So, blasting a Southern rock song about going straight to hell isn't a rejection of the spiritual purification he just talked about.
Not at all.
It's a radical, almost joyful acceptance of one's inherent flaws.
Yeah.
It's the audio equivalent of standing in the smoking crater of your own life and saying, yep, the volcano blew up.
All my stuff is everywhere.
Right. All my toxic, repressed garbage is out in the open. My mama always said I was a mess, and you know what? Fine. I accept it.
Yes, exactly. It's a total rejection of the concept of pristine spiritual purity.
Which is so refreshing.
It really is. He is acknowledging the primitive cravings that the Sabian symbol mentioned. The translucent mind he spoke of isn't a mind devoid of darkness. It's a mind that simply hides nothing anymore.
Everything is visible.
Right. And he follows that driving and crying track with a song centered around the lyrics Walking on Water, which continues this thematic blending of high religious imagery with very grounded, gritty human reality.
He's mixing the sacred and the profane.
Always. And then he shifts the gears of the broadcast completely again. He changes the tempo, the genre, and the language, moving into this upbeat Italian pop opera track.
Oh, this part's amazing. The track is Vivere by Vasco Rossi.
Vasco Rossi.
Yeah, and Vasco Rossi is a massive cultural figure in Italy, mostly known for his provocative rock star lifestyle, but this specific song is deeply philosophical.
What do the lyrics mean?
The lyrics, translated from Italian, are just beautiful in their pragmatism. He sings, Vivere è un ricordo senza tempo, which means living is a timeless memory.
A timeless memory.
And then, vivere è un po' come dar tempo a vivere e sorridere nei guai, which translates to, living is a bit like wasting time living and smiling at trouble.
Smiling at trouble. That phrase right there is the exact psychological state of the post-eruption landscape. The BPM of the broadcast has slowed down. The frantic anxiety of the earlier alt-rock has been completely replaced by the sweeping, melodic strings of Italian pop.
It breathes again.
It does. Vivere acts as the anthem for the empty soul that has survived the catharsis. It is a celebration of simply existing despite the chaos.
Yeah.
The lyrics you mentioned continue, right? Living and hoping to be better. Living and never being content.
Which is so real.
It perfectly captures the messy, unresolved, oscillating nature of human life. You survive the emotional explosion, you smile at the trouble, and you just keep living.
The whiplash of the genres and languages is just striking to me, though.
It's a lot to take in.
We move from a twangy U.S. Southern rock track about damnation directly into an Italian pop anthem about the beauty of wasting time.
Right.
It reflects this wildly universalist worldview Mochi holds.
How do you mean?
Well, he is sitting up in this turret looking out at the Alaskan glaciers, geographically isolated from the rest of the planet, but he is pulling from global frequencies.
He's tapping into the whole world.
Exactly. He is utilizing the entire world's musical palette to communicate a hyper-specific emotional state to a few hundred people in a snowy ski town.
It really speaks to the deeply empathetic nature of his whole project. He isn't merely a DJ playing tracks he likes. He is actively trying to heal and guide his community through the medium of global sound.
He's a curator of emotion.
Exactly. He understands the human condition, the quiet desperation of the English way, the volcanic eruptions of emotion in the Sabian symbols, the need to smile through the trouble in Italian pop. It is identical whether you are sitting in a piazza in Rome, on a porch in Georgia, or in a snow-buried cabin in Girdwood, Alaska.
Mochi proves that true spiritual liberation doesn't look like a monk meditating in serene, silent perfection.
That is messy.
It looks like chaotic acceptance. It looks like happily blasting a song about going to hell because you finally stopped pretending you're an angel.
I love that.
But if he ended the broadcast there, just sort of floating in this abstract, global, philosophical space, he could be doing his listeners a massive disservice.
Why is that?
Because they still live in the physical world. They still have to put their boots on and walk out into the freezing cold.
Right. Which is exactly why the final transition of the broadcast is perhaps the most crucial one of all.
The grounding phase.
Yes. The cosmic and the chaotic have been thoroughly explored, and the hour is getting later. The heavy emotional work is done. Now, he has to bring them back down to Earth.
He has to land the plane.
He has to ground the massive energetic shifts he just orchestrated. into the practical, day-to-day reality of small-town Alaskan life.
And he does it so perfectly. At 7:37 a.m., he seamlessly pivots from the grand sweeping strings of Vasco Rossi's Italian pop opera directly into reading local public service announcements.
But it's so abrupt.
It's hilarious. He gets on the mic and says, 7:37 here, all rocking into the new day. And then he just starts outlining the weekend itinerary for the Girdwood Center for the Visual Arts.
Just community bulletin board stuff.
Exactly. They are hosting a silent art auction, a spaghetti feed, and a pie baking contest on Saturday, September 13th.
The contrast is almost comical in its abruptness, but it is vitally important to understanding this tape.
How so?
Because this is the difference between an esoteric lecture and a genuine community pirate radio broadcast. Pirate radio is a literal lifeline.
Right. It's how they communicate.
He reads off all the mundane details. The event is at the home of David and Lori Sears. The cost is $10 for a single ticket, $25 for a family.
And he specifically takes the time to mention the, quote, honest pie judges.
The honest pie judges.
That detail is incredible to me. After spending an entire hour guiding his listener through the explosive energy of long-repressed subconscious contents, the terror of the karmic past, and the absolute necessity of a translucent mind,
You make sure to reassure the town about the pie.
he reassures them that the pie judges at the Sears house are above board and completely honest.
It's brilliant. It grounds the transcendent directly in the tangible. Mochi proves that true community healing doesn't happen exclusively in abstract spiritual spaces. It happens when you map cosmic, esoteric purification directly onto $10 spaghetti feeds.
It makes it real.
The mundane isn't a distraction from the profound, it's the grounding wire. It's a reminder that while we all have these massive, terrifying internal lives, we also live in a physical community.
We still have bodies.
Right. We need to eat, we need to gather, we need to bid on local art and eat pasta together in someone's living room. That physical proximity is how the community actually heals from the volcanic eruptions he just described.
He's functioning exactly like a neighborhood shaman here.
A local guide?
Yeah, he guides you through an intense, terrifying existential crisis in the dark of the early morning. He forces you to confront your mortality with ticking clocks. He purifies you with Mayan raindrops and Sabian fire.
He forces you to accept your own damnation with Southern rock.
Exactly. And then, right as the sun finally comes up, he basically pats you on the back and hands you a flyer for a pie baking contest to make sure you get a good meal this weekend.
And this brings us to the final and honestly the most beautiful moment of environmental synchronicity in the entire broadcast.
The weather change?
Yes. Right after he finishes reading the ticket prices for the spaghetti feed, he looks out the window of his turret.
Okay.
And remember, at 6:57 a.m., his primary observation was the heavy, oppressive rain and the multi-hued gray.
Right, the beautiful wet day that he used to represent MULUC, the cosmic raindrop.
But now, at 7:37 a.m., post-eruption, post-catharsis, he looks out the glass and says, "It's a beautiful morning here. I can see the glaciers back there in the mist. At least it's not pouring down anymore. And for that, we can be thankful and rejoice."
Wow. The rain actually stopped.
It stopped.
The physical weather completely mirrored the psychological arc of the broadcast.
The heavy rain, representing the esoteric principle of MULUC, the raindrop that cleanses and liberates, has literally finished its work.
That gives me chills.
Following the volcanic eruption reading, the purification by fire, the storm literally breaks over the Chugach Mountains. The mist begins to clear, and the ancient ice of the glaciers is finally revealed.
The pressure cooker has been vented.
It has been successfully vented, both internally, for the listener shivering in their cabin, and externally in the valley itself. The physical and spiritual landscapes are in total alignment.
He ends the segment on this joyful, almost breathless musical note, literally singing into the microphone, "I rejoice."
I rejoice.
It is a totally cinematic conclusion to the hour. I mean, when you lay the whole thing out like this, the architecture is just undeniable.
You can't unsee it.
You really can't. Mochi started us off with a mellow, rainy opening that was secretly laced with soulful desperation and intense codependence.
Then he locked us in the psychoacoustic pressure cooker.
Right, using Pink Floyd's alarms, chaotic Italian avant-garde spoken word, and suffocating 90s angst to bubble up our repressed anxieties and regrets.
He then provided the spectacular, explosive catharsis, utilizing the Dreamspell calendar's 11 MULUC and the Sabian symbol of the volcano to actually name the psychological tension and release it.
And he followed that with a musical sequence demanding the radical, joyful acceptance of our deeply flawed human nature.
Smiling at the trouble.
Smiling at the trouble. And finally, he brought us softly back down to earth, settling us at a local family's spaghetti feed, just in time to watch the mist clear and the glaciers appear outside the turret window.
A 50-minute journey from the absolute depths of the human psyche to a $10 plate of pasta.
Which perfectly demonstrates that the medium of pirate radio, in the hands of someone paying really deep attention, isn't just about broadcasting sound.
No, it's about constructing a sonic map for a community to navigate their own lives.
Which leaves you, the listener, with a final provocative thought to ponder as we close out today's transmission.
What's the thought?
If your life right now was a pirate radio broadcast, what repressed quiet desperation is currently acting as your background music?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Are there ticking clocks or chaotic voices you are desperately trying to ignore? And instead of waiting for a path of destruction to find you, how can you intentionally orchestrate your own volcanic eruption?
How can you clear the mist to see the glaciers in your own life?
Exactly. Thank you for tuning in to this transmission from The Last Frontier. Keep your dial set, because the signal is still out there if you know where to listen.
I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you.
I'd rather be with you until I'm through. Oh, yes, I do. I'd rather be with you until that day will fly away. I just love that smiling face in the early sun. If I can't have you to myself, then life's no fun.
I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you.
I wanna hold your hand, oh, if I can, just be a man. I wanna be your friend, not now and then, but until the end. I just love the way you act, and that's a fact. I wanna be your number one, so get to that.
Maybe the next time. Maybe the next time. Maybe the next time. Maybe the next time. I'd rather be with you.
I'd rather be with you until I'm through. Oh, yes, I do. I'd rather be with you until that day will fly away. I just love that smiling face in the early sun. If I can't have you to myself, then life's no fun.
I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you.
Oh, man. Well, you might think I'm trying to be funny, but I'm really serious this time, baby.
I'd rather be with you,
Even though emphasize that I do love you. I know I sound strange, but I really mean it. We gonna make it this time, baby. You're the only one I really love. I'm coming at you with both hands tied behind my back, baby. You got me. I'm coming at you. Get ready.
Mushroom caterpillars. Dewdrops in the garden.
Flow of energy, vibration, speed of light, float beyond fear.
6:20 in the morning on 88.5. You're with Mochi. We're sending mellow vibrations this morning as you get up and get around and start the day going. I've got a little orb for you now.
And then one day you find 10 years have gone behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun.
It's 20:07 on a rainy, gray, cloudy Tuesday morning. You're with Mochi. I'm set in the musical mood, a mellow vibration for this morning as we keep going now with the tunes. morning. It's 6:57. You're listening to 88.5, an experimental project of the Girdwood Community Club. The sky's getting light outside. It's a beautiful multi-shaded gray outside as the rain comes down here in the valley. Hope you're having a good morning. Just crawling out of bed, doing your morning things. I'm here spinning the tunes in the morning vibration, setting the tone for this beautiful wet day that we got going on.
Don't let it cry. Don't let that little girl cry.
Yeah, the devil knows your mama. Bootzella's here. The world's only rhinestone rock star doll baby mama. I wanna be your toy. I wanna play for you, mama. Yeah, the devil knows your mama. Created by Funky Tech Incorporated. Makers of funky mice to play with. What? Yep, baby. Say what the? Rockstar doll, baby. You got to go on the street. 14 karat funk. Little child. On the way. Yeah, the devil knows. I come equipped with stereophonic funk producing, disco-inducing, twin magnetic pump receptors. Oh, I'm perfect for bumming, you see. Just wind me up. Put me on your credit card, baby. And at no extra expense comes this remote control unit. Oh yeah, I'm programmable. One heck of a doll, baby mama. Bootzilla here. Made by the makers of funky things to play with. Trademark Funk Attack Incorporated, mama. Pull my string, I'll dance, I'll sing, I'll play. Yeah, the devil knows, mama. Wind me up, I'll dance, I'll sing, I'll dance and sing. Funk away. Let me be your superhero, baby. Rockstar doll, baby mama. Play for you now. Oh, they can't boogie. I'm a boogie woogie, baby. If you wanna see me boogie, all you gotta do is wind me up. I'm a rhinestone rock star monster of a doll, baby bubba. A doll for all seasons. A family doll, baby bubba. But I have been known to get into personal relationships. Oh, well now. You got me.
un'erezione triste. Per un coito molesto, per un coito modesto, per un coito molesto. Spermi, 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 spermi indifferenti. Peringo indigesti, peringo indigesti, peringo indigesti. Piattello allucinato, la situazione estrema, un grande sogno nitido, chiedendo la tua pelle, così di barbiere, una amorosa quiete, una amorosa quiete. Sfiorarti come a caso, con l'aria imbarazzata, atmosfera pesante, erosa la tensione, tranquillità assoluta, tranquillità assoluta, tranquillità assoluta. Un rapimento, un'estasi, sul punto delicato, questa non è una replica, facile e leggera, non è una mossa tattica. La vita reattiva, orma il futuro, discuti progetti, la vicina quiete, spera tutti sospeso, accarezzati il sogno, in un tempo spezzato, che gira, rigira, ritorna all'inizio, non vuole finire. Smettila di parlare, avvicinati un po', smettila di parlare, avvicinati un po', smettila di parlare, avvicinati un po', smettila di parlare, avvicinati un po'.
I'm packed and I'm holding, I'm smiling, she living, she golden, she lives for me. Says she lives for me, ovation, her own motivation. She comes round and she goes down on me, and I make you smile like a drug for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling, what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that divides you, and I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like a go with the curse. Coming like a freak show takes the stage. We give them the games to play. She say I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life. Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say the sky was gold, it was rose. I was taking sips of it to my nose, and I wish I could get back there, someplace back there, smiling in the pictures you would take. To a crystal meth, I'll lift you up until you break. It won't stop. I won't come down and keep stop with the tick-tock rhythm. I bumped for the drop and then I bumped up. I took the hit that I was given, then I bumped again, then I bumped again. I said, how do I get back there to the place where I fell asleep inside you? How do I get myself back to the place where we said I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life? Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. I believe in the sand beneath my toes. The beach gives a feeling, energy feeling. I believe in the faith that grows, and the full I go can make me cry. When I'm with you, I feel like I could die, and that would be alright, alright. And when the plane came in, she said she was crashing. The velvet eclipse in the sea would shift on the earth to feel alive. And now I'm struggling to survive those days you were wearing that velvet dress. You're the priestess, I must confess. Those little red panties, they last the test. Let's look around the belly, face down on the mattress. One, and you hold me, and we are broken. Still it's not it I wanna do, just to live and I feel myself heavier than
buzzing and ringing in my ear. And I wonder, where do I go from here? The moments missed, the ticking of time. I suppose this life is mine, all mine. I remember a time when my mind was clean and clear.
Good morning, friends. You're with Mochi in the Morning on 88.5 Glacier City Radio. Today is September 8th, 1997. It's about 7:16 right now. On the Mayan calendar, today is 11 MULUC. 11 is the tone of liberation. Release what has been. Let go of old patterns that no longer serve you. And MULUC is the raindrop, the cosmic seed and gate of awakened consciousness, the principle of communication and expansion of higher life. The moon today is in Libra. The sun, of course, is in Virgo. Today is the 17th degree of Virgo, and the Sabian symbol for today is a volcanic eruption, the explosive energy of long repressed contents of the subconscious. We are dealing here with the dramatic release of energies which have been kept in check by the outer shell of the ego-controlled consciousness. It may be a spectacular catharsis, but it often takes passive destruction. Yet unless some form of purification by fire is experienced, the inner pressure of the karmic past or of more recent frustrations would shake up perhaps even more destructively the very foundations of the personality. At this second stage, the objective confrontation with an image of the karmic past is replaced by a subjective eruption of repressed memories and primitive cravings. Everything must be released from the psyche seeking to attain the transfigured state. The soul must become empty, the mind translucent. The key word for today is explosion.
Just like my mama said.
I walked down the road. 50 bucks in a suitcase to steer me clear. She took my hand as we walked into the sun. A new day's promise had begun. We'll make it alone whether you like it or not. I turned around and shouted, help me, mother, 'cause I'm going straight to hell, just like my mama said. I'm going straight to hell. I'm going straight to hell, just like my mama said. I'm going straight to hell. Won't you come and sing along with me now? I'm going straight to hell, just like my mama said. I'm going straight to hell. Mother love, won't you let me go? I feel fine. Don't leave me up yet. Again, you're within everything. There's more to and I'm here and singing to you now. I'm calling you to mine, but I'm losing the words. Love me right till you feel it closing you deep above the riverside. And I'm walking on water, and God knows why. And I'm losing the words, losing the words. I'm celebrate life. Get to your side. Yeah, that's all. When you like that, always do. Love just carry on.
un ricordo senza tempo. Vivere è un po' come perdere tempo. Vivere e sorridere. Vivere è passato tanto tempo. Vivere è un ricordo senza tempo. Vivere è un po' come perdere tempo. Vivere e sorridere dei guai, così come non hai fatto mai, e poi pensare che domani sarà sempre meglio. Oggi non ho tempo, oggi voglio stare spento. Di star meglio. Vivere e non essere mai contento. Vivere come stare sempre al vento. Vivere come ridere. Vivere, vivere anche se sei morto dentro. Vivere, vivere e devi essere sempre contento. Vivere, vivere è come un comandamento. Vivere o sopravvivere senza perdersi d'animo mai, e combattere e lottare contro tutto contro. Oggi non ho tempo, oggi voglio stare spento. Proprio come non l'hai fatto mai, e pensare che domani sarà sempre meglio.
7:37 here on 88.5. You're with Mochi in the morning, rocking into the new day. Girdwood Center for the Visual Arts is having a silent art auction, spaghetti feed, and pie baking contest on Saturday, September 13th at 5:30. It's an ample family meal, great art bargains, and honest pie judges. It's $10 for a single, $25 for a family, and discounts for GCVA members. It's going to be going on at the home of David and Lori Sears, and tickets can be purchased in advance. If you want more information, contact Thalia at 3078 or Tommy at 3287. It's a beautiful gray morning here in the valley. I can see the glaciers back there in the mist. At least it's not pouring down rain anymore, and for that, we can be thankful and rejoice.